Hey everyone, this is Alyssa, and today I'll be presenting on a cultural artifact that you'll probably recognize because of its huge significance in a lot of Asian cultures. Whether you've seen this in pictures, textbooks, TV, maybe you've even seen it on display in a restaurant or in someone's house, I would like to introduce you to the Buddha. Before I give some more information about the Buddha and explain how it's culturally relevant in my life, I wanted to give you guys a more up-close look at some Buddha relics that my beautiful and amazing Grandma Linda, pictured here, was nice enough to help me find. So this first item is a really cool globe, and as you can see on the inside of the globe, Buddha is sitting crisscross on a decorative shrine, and the robe you see him wearing is called a kasaya, which is also the type of robe you'll see monks wear if they follow the teachings of Buddha. Hopefully you can also see that the Buddha's right hand is facing up and outwards, which represents the act of teaching or reassurance. At the very top of his head, we see this cranial bump called Ushnisha, and that represents the expanded wisdom Buddha gained at the moment of his enlightenment. This is a much larger depiction of a golden Buddha that would most likely be seen in or surrounding a temple, and as we can see in this next picture, monks will create shrines in front of the Buddha and pray to the statue multiple times a day. Then we have this tiny Buddha that was handed to me by a completely random stranger, but I thought the gesture was so nice that I still carry it with me wherever I go for good luck and protection. Now that you have an understanding of the Buddha as a physical artifact, let's talk more about why the relic is so admired and religiously respected in different Asian cultures. To clarify, Buddha is not someone's name. It's an honorary title that means the awakened one. There are many Buddhas that take the form of different people who have all reached a state of enlightenment, which is why not all depictions of Buddha look exactly the same. That said, the version of Buddha that is most well known is Siddhartha Gautama, who is one of the most influential Asian spiritual philosophers of all time. Gautama's teaching of Buddhism first developed in South Asia, spread to the rest of Asia, and now have a global following. The goal of these teachings is to help people end their misery and reach a state of nirvana, which is a type of liberation from desire, hatred, and ignorance so that suffering no longer exists. The Four Noble Truths encompass the main teachings of Buddha. The first truth acknowledges the existence of suffering. The second truth says that desire and ignorance are the root of suffering. The third truth says that suffering has an end both on earth and in the spiritual realm. And the fourth truth is called the Noble Eightfold Path, which provides 8 steps to attain the end of suffering. With over 520 million followers, Buddhism attracts so many for its ability to provide people with inner peace and a path to eternal salvation. Although I don't consider myself Buddhist, I still value the Buddha and its teachings as an essential part of my Thai heritage. My grandma, who was born and raised in Thailand, has always viewed Buddhism as a central part of her identity and has done her best to pass down the teachings of Buddha to me piece by piece. She actually devoted several months of her life to being a Buddhist nun, which only made her more devoted to the religion in hopes of salvation in the afterlife. My grandma and I haven't always been close, but now that I'm older, I've realized that her constant generosity and kindness towards people has been largely inspired by the Buddha, which allows her to feel at peace with herself. Especially when it comes to the Eightfold Path, I think there's Buddhist lessons everyone should learn from if we want to become the best versions of ourselves. Here's the steps of the path I hold closest to me so that I can maintain connection with my culture. First one is right intentions, which is choosing compassion over selfishness. The second is right action, which is helping others and living honestly. The third is right mindfulness, which is being aware of what we feel, what we think, and what we do. And the last is right effort, which is encouraging positive thoughts while discouraging destructive ones. By following these morals passed down to us by the Buddha, we make progress towards not only healing ourselves, but healing the rest of the world too. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.